appreciate it. I'm here to introduce, obviously, someone who doesn't actually need an introduction, but want to quickly acknowledge just how special it is for the organization to bring you and your family back to the Emerald City, and an amazing day to be able to celebrate someone who gave 10 years of their career to the club, a part of 8 major championships, just an amazing ambassador for what we stand for. The grit, the determination, having played against you, I assure you it wasn't fun. But the amount of times from afar watching you specifically win and hold these trophies was admirable, and something that even as an opponent was easy to respect. And so what a day for the organization to be able to bring Ozzie back, and with that, we'll turn it over to him.
I want to be simple, guys. I'm very, very happy to be here, Thank you for doing this for me. It's been a while, but the 10 years I spent here in Seattle was amazing, I want to thank a lot of people for giving me the opportunity to play here in this amazing franchise. And, the only thing I can say is I'm so grateful to be part of this team. All the thing I do when I step the field was for me, for my family, for the team. And, I'm very happy for this moment. I'm so excited to be here, and, I can't say anything more, like very grateful.
Okay. It's your fault. You're making everybody tear up.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go to questions and answers here quickly. Look, Ozzie brought more than just 10 years or X amount of games or whatever to the club. The story I want to tell is, one about me and him. So you guys know me by now. I'm pretty pragmatic, very German. And when we took over in 2016, we were in last place. I mean, we were in dead last. And I remember that moment in the locker room where, I think it might have been after the first game, we tied 1-1. And I said, look, guys, we're in last place. We got to, start winning. And, I was kind of talking. It was kind of a down moment. And all of a sudden, Ozzie from his locker goes, Coach, we're not finished yet. We're not finished yet. And that became the rallying cry for us during that season. Every game, we're not finished yet. We're not finished yet. Led all the way to one of these first MLS Cups. And it's a good story.
Yeah. Thank you.
Might be a hard one to get through today. All right, yeah. Now's a great time for hands. We do have a microphone coming around. Jose, I saw you first, so we'll let you kick things off.
Aussie, welcome back to Seattle. You've had an opportunity to come up with the team and see the team become what it became before you took off, and then from afar you continue to be part of the league and see what Brian's been able to do. As you take this moment to say farewell to the sport, how important is it for you to reflect back on what you gave the team and some of the people that you impacted and also left your legacy with, aside from just the fans, but some of the players?
I got the opportunity to be here since the beginning, since Seattle joined the MLS, be part of the club, be successful with the club. I'm here today to give me this ceremony. For me, it's amazing, looking back to Seattle was, and right now, and be part of the league for so many years. And I'm very happy to give my talent to the team and be for them. So, like I say, it's been amazing. When I look back, when I left Seattle, I always keep Seattle in my heart. So coming back now is amazing. So all I can say is I'm very happy to be here today with you guys.
We'll go next.
You want me to follow up a little bit? Yeah, because look, Ozzie had a positive influence, not just on Christian's development when he first came to the club. Okay, Ozzie, took over that a little bit and showed Christian how to play a little bit in that middle part of the field when we first brought him together. But he had the respect of Clint. I know Jovan Jones, one of my favorites, loved playing with Ozzie, knew who some of those guys. So it was a mix of veteran guys and young guys that Ozzie had an influence with. And I think that's one of the legacies that he's left the club with.
We'll go next to Jackson Feltz. Mike's coming over your left shoulder.
For both of you guys, obviously there was so many games and so many years, but for each of you, I'm wondering, Ozzie and Brian, if there's one play or moment, not necessarily winning a championship, scoring a goal, anything like that, but if there's one moment that kind of stands out and epitomizes your time in Seattle, or just the way you played, if there's one thing that stands out in your brain of I remember when I did this, or I remember when Ozzie did that.
You want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe two stories, Jackson, because one's a personal one and then one's about the team. So, again, when I first met Ozzie when he was playing for Charleston, I remember the story. Leighton O'Brien was my best player at the time, and Ozzie was playing for Charleston, and Ozzie was just killing Leighton, and Leighton was getting all upset, and he was complaining to the referee, and I even got up and started complaining about the referee. And one time I was complaining, and Ozzie would just start looking at me. And I stared at him, and he was staring right back at me, and none of us wanted to blink. And he actually won. He won. And I said, okay, that guy means business. He's the guy, and so that's one of the reasons why we wanted to bring him to Seattle. Okay, that very moment when we locked eyes, I knew he was a competitor. And then the game against Sporting Kansas City in the playoffs with the tackle right on the sideline, right in front of the bench, and their whole team just lost it. Peter Vermes, the press conference afterwards with, I forget the player's name, but he was very sarcastic in his comments, but it was a typical Aussie tackle. Maybe it was a little bit too late. Maybe, I don't know, but that propelled us, in that championship year to go on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, I want to say that particular play, I got in video because when I doing my A license with Benny, was there
With Dale Harbour was there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I play against him one time, I think, I don't know, Kansas. He told to me, no, I remember you play against me in the playoff and you should send off. I said, no, Benny, I got a video here. So I showed the video. Yeah, I never touched him. I never touched him. I got a video because he told to me like, no, you should be sent off and we will win the game. But that moment was great because I found the video, I recorded, I got on my phone here to show him that I was a good tackle and didn't touch it. So
Of course it was a good
was a
tackle.
good memory because that tackle couldn't be sent off and we could lose the game. But fortunately, in the end, Nelson scored a goal. And that,
Nelson scored a goal.
yeah, in the 87 minute, and I think that moment was a great moment. But also, when we in the bottom of the table, that was the thing because it was hard time in the beginning. I know that day we tied, I think, in the game, you started talking with us and telling like, we got time, guys. I remember we 11 points behind the playoff line,
Yeah.
14 games to go, and I just can't say we're not finished yet. We got four more games, so we got to go, and at the end of the day we win the trophy, and I'm so happy because I was waiting for that moment for so many years. And finally I did.
You deserve
Yeah.
that moment.
Remember, you kept a lot of those cell phone videos to show people, make sure
I
we
ha-
were
I
honest
got it
in the
here.
statistical record keeping.
Yeah.
You were the best in that front, yeah. We'll go across the room to Tim Booth here.
This is probably for both of you, since you've been around since the start, Brian. But Ozzie, could you describe who you were when you got here in 2009, maybe both as a person and a player, and how you grew during your time here in Seattle? Maybe, Brian, what you saw of that during his time here.
Yeah, I came here to, with the Cuban national team. I left, I stayed here. I tried to do my life here in U.S. and I got a chance to play soccer. I got opportunity to sign here with Seattle. How we was, in my mind was like focus, try to do my best for my family, to have my family in Cuba. And I always remember when my dad say, everything you do with passion, give everything you have for everything. And that's why I came here, new franchise, new opportunity. Every time I train, play, I was give my best because I know I have family behind me that support me, and in my mind I had to show my potential every time I step to the field. And that's why I came here with my mentality. I always try to win no matter what, no matter who's in front of me. I try to do my best and try to win the game and whatever in life. Because life is hard, and came from Cuba without no English. Cuba is not like big in soccer. Come to this country and do what I did, I think was amazing for me, and I'm very proud of what I did. And always I did because my determination, my willing to win every time, and I'm very happy for that.
I think, Tim, what I remember was he was much younger.
Not much.
He was quiet. He was quiet when he first came because there was a little bit of a stigma coming from, USL. Some of our guys had that same thing, and could we measure up to MLS? And he let his play do all the words, all the talking that needed to be said. It was in the training sessions when we were, even on a 5v2 or something, he was always competitive. You could see that right away. And when it came to the games, he did play with passion. And, the energy in the building that first game, the energy that the first year, some of the Open Cup memories that we had, like scoring a goal. Was it Chicago or was it Columbus?
The final?
In the final.
Chicago.
It was against Chicago. I mean, you could see the passion that he plays with. So starting off young, a little quiet, I think he developed into someone that carried himself very well over the years. I made him the captain there in 2016, but always leadership by example, I think was probably his calling card.
Maz, we'll go to you next.
I think, Ozzie, you talked a little bit about this, but the decision for you to leave Cuba, United States, and make a legacy for your family. Can you just talk about that? And then I have one for Brian.
Yeah, it was hard. I was 21. Back in the day, if you left Cuba the way I left, you're not allowed to come back anymore to Cuba. So in Cuba, there's no internet, no Wi-Fi, nothing. So it was a big decision because I couldn't see my mom for 7 years. Just by email, just some time, by picture. And it was hard for me to make that decision because in my mind, only thing it was, if I came here to play, I couldn't go back to see my family, and it was gonna be hard. But I was thinking my future. I decided to stay here to do whatever. But lucky, I started playing soccer. I met it, and after that, I had my family to bring here, and they are here with me. But back in the day, it was hard because in Cuba, the situation was difficult, and the political situation was different than other country. And coming here to new country, learning new language, new culture was hard, but like I say, was the best decision I made in my life. Looking now, when I was in that warm-up, was a lot nervous in me, but I remember that day that made me like be free, and this country gave me a lot of opportunity, and I'm so grateful to be here right now.
Thank you. Brian, Obed Vargas actually talked about he didn't see Ozzie play, but he heard about how in practice that he was actually kicking players in practice and his tenacity. And I know you talked a little bit about this, but just his intensity, willingness to win, even in practice, and then obviously the games.
Can I tell the story about Christian? No? Which one? I remember, look, I'll say it because I put my foot in my mouth. But look, there was a time when Christian was coming up, and Christian was, going to take Aussie's place, and Aussie didn't like that. And so at training one day, Christian found out, hey, you're not going to take my position. Okay, that's what I'll say. As far as the young players on our team, they need to do research. They need to understand what makes this team so good. We talked in the locker room, because I had them down in the locker room before training, and we talked about perseverance, never quit, always competing. Some of those things that players like Aussie help build the legacy. The legacy was there for many years, but these guys help build it more. They keep it going. They strengthen it. And that was, again, one of the things that I want the young players to hear. I want them to hear stories about the good old days, about some of the fantastic players that we had. This club has a rich history, and why not celebrate the players that we've had here?
Nico?
Thank you. This was for Ozzie. Along the lines of the first question here, beyond these trophies, when you look back at your career, how important is it that you were able to elevate Cuba, the Latin community, in an MLS that maybe you didn't see as many Latinos as you do now, and maybe didn't have some of the accolades that they have today?
I think I was the few Cuban playing MLS, but after me, there's a lot of tournament the Cuban player came here and defeat, and they reached to me and say, Ozzie, I want to be like you. I want to play in the MLS, and it made me very proud because I opened the way for them to think they can make in MLS, and a lot of players try to stay here and playing professionally and be an example for them. It's always great for me to be that example, and I'm very happy to lead the way for them.
And just a brief one, the importance of this community and how they rallied behind you, the fans, El Corazón de los Sounders chant, how big was that for you?
Yeah. I talk to my wife every time, says, Sound is my home. 10 years here, when I left, it was hard to leave Sunday because in my heart, I don't want to leave, but it's soccer, it's football. And coming back to here and see a lot of fans that still love me here. And every time I play against Seattle, they give me a good welcome, and I'm very grateful for that. Sunday's a home for me. I love the fun here. I'm very excited for Saturday night because it's gonna be epic, gonna be amazing, and I don't like to say I love Seattle. I love the fun.
Kev, you have a mic. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, it's another example that this club is the relationship between the players and the fans. That right there.
Okay, Kev, I think you have a mic, so we'll stay over there. Jada, did you have one? We'll go Jada and then Felipe. Hit the button.
Thanks. Ozzie, for this moment, you obviously have a lot of emotion about, was it wanting to retire a Sounder that brings up a lot of emotion that you were concerned about maybe being able to do, or how was the actual process or thought process as far as actually making that decision to retire too?
Yeah, when I decided to retire, it was hard. I was thinking many months before I made a decision with my wife, my family. But I always want to retire as a Sunday. That's why I waited for this moment because, like I say, I left, but Sunday was in my heart every time. So be here today, have this opportunity to retire as a Sunday, one of the best things in my life because Sunday is my home. Like I said before, I'm very grateful to be here in this stage, sign one-day contract to retire as a Sunday, and I was dreaming that moment would come, and finally came, and very excited. So to be here today.
Was there any negotiations on the contract that you're signing, any costs?
Yeah, it was a big negotiation, big contract.
We'll come back down to Felipe.
Big
here.
fight.
Ozzie, bienvenido a Seattle una vez más. Desde que tu llegada a Seattle hasta este momento has mencionado que hay muchas personas a quien tú tienes que agradecerle, pero ¿hay alguna persona en especial en tu vida a quien tú quieras agradecer? Y mi segunda pregunta es, ¿este momento qué significa para ti?
Sí, tengo que agradecer a muchas personas. Primero a mis padres por darme la vida, mi esposa y mis hijos por estar siempre conmigo, ahí en todo momento. Quiero darle gracias a Adrian, a toda la organización, a Siggy, que en paz descanse, a Brian y a muchas personas más que ahora no me viene a la mente, todos los que trabajaron en la organización de Seattle, los jugadores, son muchas personas que se me queda alguien, les pido una disculpa por esta gran oportunidad, por todo lo que hicieron por mí, por siempre estar conmigo ahí en las buenas y en las malas y poder vivir este momento de estar aquí en esta mesa sentado hablando con ustedes y poder retirarme como Sunday del equipo que me dio mucho, que me dio todo en mi carrera aquí en Estados Unidos, que me abrió las puertas en la MLS, que yo pude demostrar lo que yo podía hacer como futbolista y estoy agradecido con todas esas personas que estuvieron siempre ahí. Y nada, contento por este momento, feliz, porque fue un momento esperado por mí, un momento que siempre soñé, un momento que estaba en mi mente, un momento que siempre quise. Y gracias a Dios por las grandes personas que hay en este club, por lo grande que es este club, se está dando esta oportunidad y nada, feliz, contento y el sábado lo voy a disfrutar con mucha alegría porque es un momento histórico para mí, para mi familia y para todas las personas que me quieren.
We have translation from Giselle Pichardo. Gigi, good luck. That was a long one, but I know you can do it.
The question was, welcome to Seattle, Aussie. We know there must be a lot of people you would like to thank throughout your career, but is there any specific person you would like to thank or a specific person you are thankful for? His answer was, yes, I have a lot of people that I would like to thank. More specifically, my father, Izzy, the coach, the players. I feel grateful for all of the love that I've received through my career with the Sounders. For me, this is the club I belong to, so it's always important for me not only to come here, but to retire as a Sounder. Again, there is a lot of people that I would like to thank, but at the end, I'm really grateful that I'm here and that I'm going to be able to retire as a Sounder.
Increíble. Buen trabajo. Gracias. Okay, who did I miss next? We'll go center row there. Yeah, you've been waiting patiently. Thank you.
Ozzie, para Latin Times, desde tu llegada a los Estados Unidos, la liga y Estados Unidos, el soccer en general, ha sufrido una transformación globalizada. ¿Qué significa para ti ver todo lo que ha cambiado y mejorado el fútbol en los Estados Unidos y el rol que tuviste tú como uno de los únicos latinos o de los pocos latinos que llegaron acá y trascendieron? ¿Qué significa para ti ver 10, 15 años después todo lo que tú lograste y qué mensaje le darías a esos jóvenes que están tratando de llegar a donde tú llegaste?
Sí, llegué a una liga en el 2009 aquí en la MLS que tuve la oportunidad de jugar por 15 años y año tras año pude ver el cambio que hubo en la liga. Cada año traían jugadores de más calidad, el nivel subía y actualmente es una liga muy competitiva. Y gracias a Dios por yo ser parte de ese momento en la historia del club en Seattle y sobre todo en la MLS, porque creo que poco a poco el nivel fue subiendo, como te dije anteriormente, trayendo los jugadores y siempre mi consejo a los jóvenes que nunca dejen de soñar, que siempre luchen por ellos, que traten de dar lo mejor siempre, que no importa las adversidades que tengan en la vida, que siempre piensen que hay otra puerta que se abre, si se cierra una se abre otra y siempre luchen por sus sueños, que las oportunidades siempre están ahí. Este país es un país de oportunidades Y nosotros como latinos es un poco complicado porque llegamos sin idioma, sin la cultura de este país, pero tenemos que adaptarnos a este país que nos abre las puertas, nos da el camino para echar adelante. Y nada, siempre yo creo que paciencia, perseverancia es la clave para poder triunfar en la vida.
The question was, since you joined the league, the MLS have experienced a global transformation. Definitely, you were one of the keystone here for those players who joined after you. So, how do you feel that you had an impact in those players and obviously in the league after you joined? His answer was, I joined the league, and I feel like after that there is a lot of things that I accomplished. But obviously, the impact that I have in other players, and my message to these players that are joining the league now is to keep fighting, to be always to have perseverance, to keep fighting, to fight for their dreams. We joined this country, and it's not an easy step for us. But again, at the end, it's about getting used to this country, getting used to the culture, but especially like keep knocking those doors and keep fighting for their dreams.
Okay, we'll take a couple more. Nico, Antun, you've been waiting. Gigi, if you want to pass the mic down. Diego, I see you.
This question's for both of you. Two of you have been working together for a long time. Could you talk more about the personal impact you have had in each other's lives since meeting in 2009?
I knew when I took over from Zig that the team needed something, so I made him the captain right away. Why did I do that? Because I had respect. I had respect for who he was, how he played. I knew he could lead by example. I thought it was the right choice. That's what it is. It comes down to respect for what he is, who he is, and what he's accomplished.
Yeah, for me, I always thank Brian. I remember I was in San Jose. Before lunch or after lunch, you come to me and say, no, I want you to be the captain for the team and lead the team for the rest of the season. And don't see that I said yes, and from that was a great moment. And I want to thank Brian for that opportunity. And that's why, because I respect him so much, I said yes and take the lead to the team for the championship that year.
Yeah.
We'll just stay here with Jose.
Aussie, you had the opportunity to escape the situation you found yourself under in Cuba and come to America. You're somebody that people that in those situations looks at as somebody who found success, but success is not found alone, and it's gained through support system. What are some of the biggest lessons that you gained, not just through soccer, but through life, and that you can share with people who are in those positions, especially baseball players and other Cubans that happen to the effect?
Yeah, it's hard when you come from any country to come here to US, but like patience for me is one of the best things to have to success. Have somebody next to you, like support you. When you're down, go to him or her, talk to her and give you advice. In this case, my wife always was there for me. When I came to this country, I was alone. Nobody was here, just her. So I want to thank her to be my everything. Like, I'm here sitting now because her. And I got my beautiful children that always support me. Last year was hard for me because 22, I got a big injury in my knee. I had to go through few surgery. I missed like 14 months. I was sitting in the couch with my daughter, and they told me that I want to see you play again. And I tell my daughter, don't worry, I want to come back. I want to play for you. I'm not going to retire like that. I want to be in the field again for you guys. That's why I step up. I recovered after 14 months. I was 37. A lot of people think that I want to quit, but what's in my mind? I never quit because I promised her, my family, to want to play again. That's what I did. I play again. They saw me playing. That's the best thing that I do in my life after being out for so long. It was hard because saw my daughter saying that to me, and they suffered my pain during the surgery, and saying that they want to see me play again was hard because I didn't know if I couldn't play again because it was a big injury. But in my mind, I tell her, like, I want to do it for you, for my family, and that's what I did. So I keep my promise, and I finally play again. You know, it was a tough moment for me, but thank God I did it.
All right, we're going to take two more before we get to the ceremonial contract signing and photo opportunities with jersey presentation. We're going to go Diego and then Jaime. And for those I missed, I'm sorry, we are on the clock.
Ozzie, bienvenido. I'll ask in Spanish. Bienvenido de vuelta. Gusto verte otra vez. ¿Cómo se siente ser uno de los pilares de este equipo y ver el éxito que ha tenido desde tu llegada a lo que es ahora y ver a jugadores, como decía Brian, a Christian, crecer tanto como profesional y como persona? ¿Cuál ha sido ese sentimiento de regresar a verlos muchos años después?
Sí, no, feliz llegar a este club con una idea. Yo no llegué con el nombre más grande, llegué como uno más al equipo, con muchos grandes jugadores. Y solo mi mente estaba hacerlo bien para jugar y estar tranquilo, pero mi meta siempre fue dar lo mejor de mí. Yo creo que mi dedicación, perseverancia, mi deseo de ganar, creo que me ayudó mucho a triunfar en el equipo y después poder ser una pieza clave durante 10 años en este equipo. Creo que tuve la oportunidad de jugar con muchos jugadores, que aprendí mucho de ellos. Y yo creo que poco a poco, como jugador, fui creciendo, aprendí de ellos y nunca me di por vencido, siempre di lo mejor de mí. Yo creo que eso fue la clave para poder triunfar en este equipo que me ha dado mucho.
The question was, you joined the league, and there has been, a big transformation for the MLS. We can see players like Christian, and he's professional in personal development. So what's the feeling there for you? How do you feel about, the impact that you have in MLS in seeing other players? The answer was, I feel like like my dedication, my perseverance has brought a lot to this league. Again, can you please repeat the last part?
Which one?
Yeah.
Sí, la última parte que dijiste de la perseverancia, lo que seguía después. But yeah, basically what he I'm trying to keep the things here. But yeah, what he said is like perseverance, his dedication. He feels like that's what he brings to the league, and he feels really happy about everything he's done so far.
Well, that's probably a good sign that we're closing it down here with the HVAC coming on. But Jaime, you've got the last one there. Mike should be coming from Kevin here to you. ¿En español o en inglés? Okay.
I can do both. Ozzie, first of all, bueno, primero que todo, felicitaciones y gracias por ser un tremendo ejemplo, ¿no? Como un atleta muy profesional y como una persona muy profesional también. So, first of all, thank you for being such a great example and such a great athlete and person. Mi pregunta es, ¿qué pasa con Osvaldo Alonso de ahora en adelante? ¿Seguirás haciendo trabajo, supongo, en lo que más te gusta, que es el fútbol? Trabajando con la juventud, trabajando con los latinos. My question is, what comes for Ozzie Alonso now? Are you going to continue being such a great example for young athletes? What kind of work are you going to do?
No, gracias, muchas gracias. Nada, creo que lo primero que voy a hacer es tomarme tiempo con la familia, quiero disfrutarla porque creo que ya tuve mucho tiempo separado de ellos cuando estuve jugando profesional y mi primer paso es ahora estar con ellos, pero sí quiero estar involucrado con el fútbol, quiero seguir ayudando a los jóvenes, quiero seguir ayudando al fútbol que hacer aquí en Estados Unidos y sí, pero mi primer paso en este momento es dedicarle a mi familia y ya más adelante ya veré qué camino tomo, pero primero es mi familia, pero sí voy a estar involucrado en el fútbol.
Question was, and thank you, Jaime, that you did it in English. But the question was, what comes next for Aussie? His answer was, spending time with the family. I feel like a lot of time passed by where I missed that opportunity. So spending time with the family. I still would like to be part of soccer, help other players and in the professional career. But again, spending time with the family, and let's see what life brings next.
With that, oh, Brian, yeah, absolutely.
Closer.
Yeah, closer for sure. You're always the closer.
Let me try and summarize. Look, I'd love to answer about your family, but James Riley and Taylor in the room. We had family back then, too, in '09. It was good to have support from your teammates. It was good to see. I love that somebody brought up baseball because he throws the ball very hard. He was very good. Always the games. Taylor, you remember the softball games and everything. He was like the star. And then, Jada, to your question about retiring as a Sounder, look, he had success at Minnesota. And you scored the first goal in their stadium, and he had success, brought them to the playoffs. My good friend Adrian Heath, talked to me about Ozzie was such a great influence in their locker room. And then to our good friend Gonzo, had Ozzie maybe at the end of the career, but leadership within the locker room. But it's right that he retires here as a Sounder. I think it's just right. It feels right.
With that, Kevin Kay is going to hand over the contract to Craig Weibel. Craig is going to present it to Ozzie, of course. Available here for still photography shots and B-roll.
I got a pet.
Nope, we got it right here.
Easy contra,
It's a big contract, Jada.
Yeah.
It's a big contract. Big.
And after Ozzie signs, we'll direct everyone
let me read it before I sign it.
He's filling it in.
Yeah.
We'll keep it through Saturday.
Yeah.
You can stay seated, Ozzie. Go ahead. It's fine. We'll stand up a sec. Go ahead and pull that mic stand for me, Kevin. Yep. Everyone got a shot there? All right, great. Yep, and now we can do jersey presentations. So first, we'll keep you guys there. Thank you. There's one jersey on the back. Yep, front and back. We'll go front and back. Yep. Yep, Corky, you're on it? Go ahead. Ozzie, if you want to flip it. Awesome. And same drill, guys. We'll go B-roll and stills.
So video will be first, James. Once you flash up.
Just your side.
Step forward right there. do it already.